Hey there, Drum Chucks, aka AJ, aka Drum Chucks, aka my little podcast friend. How are ya?
Sounded like you said My Little Pony then. I'm like, oh, let's not go down that path.
I
with
ain't
My Little
nobody's pony, but maybe we'll do that song Pony by, I don't know, what's his name? Anyway, I digress already.
Sure.
Sorry. So, AJ, how are you today?
I'm doing good, Mo. Although, going back to My Little Pony, there's actually an adult fan club of My Little Pony, and it's...
Oh, have you ever heard of the...
they're called bronies.
Yeah, the subculture of bronies. Yes.
Bronies.
No disrespect, bronies. You get down with your bad
you
self. You live your life.
I used to have a good high school friend that was a massive bronies fan.
Yeah.
So
actually, and it's very interesting that we've brought up My Little Pony because I think it was started to be pretty big around this era, right? Like of this song.
Mm-hmm.
But we should say hello. So
hello. So Sideline Sally can put in the intro episode.
She can. Yeah. No, we'll introduce the episode. Welcome to another episode of Songs on the Couch. Yay! And here we are.
I could just hear all the fans like going, yes, it's been a while. A new episode, we can't wait.
That's right. We've kept you hanging because I've been on holidays.
How rude, I know, listeners.
know,
Jeez, taking priorities over the general population. Oh.
Sucked to be me for the last couple of weeks.
I know, right?
Yeah. By the pool.
You can tell she's been on holiday. If you actually watch our episodes, you can tell she's been on holidays.
Can you? Am I looking refreshed?
You're just a little bit. Yeah.
One day I might actually go on a plastic surgery holiday, come back looking really refreshed. Very tight across the face, the forehead. No, I don't have.
Have you ever seen the movie Brazil?
No, who's in that?
It's like it's a weird 80s cult, like underground culty movie. Is it? But there's this scene where this old lady's getting like really like face, and they're just like pulling her skin like this is like really tight. This is like a picture, just like.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that memes, that meme that's like, if I won $1 million, I wouldn't tell anyone, but there would be signs, and there's all these bandaged faces from all the plastic surgery. Look, no disrespect to people who get it done, but I'm going to choose to age gracefully, I think. So I won't be coming back from any holiday looking any more refreshed than I already am.
Well, my dentist did tell me that I should get Botox in my mouth just to help with my heavy bite. So you might see me with like a
little,
this is me sad.
That's you.
I'm crying.
I was watching The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City last night.
Of course.
Of course I was. Of course I was, because it's season 6, I think. And anyway, and good old Heather Gay, who is one of the housewives, they went on a camping trip and they decided just to go down to the little stream and brush their teeth. And Heather was proudly telling everybody that she had Botox in her upper lip and she's lost her ability to spit. So just be careful.
So hold on. So segue. Yeah. So then could
we've really digressed. Like we're not even 4 minutes in.
If she couldn't spit, could she still swallow?
Of course you went there. Of course you went there. Of course she can. She needs to eat.
Oh yeah, true. So she could still brush her teeth then.
But I wonder what she does. Does she just open her mouth and it dribbles out? Maybe that's what you... I think the moral of the story is just Just be careful.
I've gone beyond
out there.
brushing my teeth brushing with this conversation.
Yeah, you really have. Of course you went there. It devolved. We've devolved.
See the gutter?
Very quickly.
That's me over there in the gutter.
That's where you are. Well, you
Yeah.
know, well, poor Heather. I mean, let's say she
First world problems.
she bites on a crunchy bit and she can't chew it. She needs to spit it out. I mean, what are you going to do? Just open your mouth and it falls out? Sorry, Heather.
Maybe she choke to death.
If you're listening,
Like if it gets stuck and you can't get it out, would you just choke?
I don't know. Would you just get your fingers in there and just like fish it out? I don't know.
Oh wow!
Oh,
First world problem. She's probably got someone that does that for her.
Maybe.
Jeffrey, get your fingers in there.
Oh, tell you
I
what.
can't spit again.
2 weeks away from the podcast, Mike. There's lots to say, isn't
Wow.
There's lots to say.
I'm glad trash TV can humour us.
Yes, exactly. No disrespect, Heather, but I'm sure you'll rethink Botox in your upper lip next time because, you know, sometimes we do need to spit. Toothpaste being the primary thing that we need to spit out daily. Anyway, and, you know, it's very interesting that we've devolved to a bit of a sexy level because it's a sex symbol that we if we're going to segue it into what we're doing today.
Very sexual.
Very
sexual.
Sensual, very sexual. Why don't you tell us, AJ, aka Drum Chucks, what song are we bringing on over to the couch today for a little bit of analysis?
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
We are bringing over one of the greatest singles from an album that you have to have in your, you know, one of the albums you need to listen before you die. One of those albums. Prince, who's phenomenal. Purple Rain album and the single When Doves Cry.
It's, I mean, oof.
It's a good one.
Oh, it's emotive. Oh, it's a good one. It is a good one. It's emotive. Oh, it was 1984. I mean, there was a lot going on in 1984. I mean, we're no stranger to the 80s. Just like Rick Astley's no stranger to love.
Oh my God. I was thinking that in my head. I'm like, do I say that? I was like, yeah, and we're no strangers to love.
We are no strangers. We know the rules.
Yeah.
You know the rules, and so do I.
Yeah.
Have we just rickrolled our audience kind of in a little bit?
Yep.
It's a passive-aggressive rickroll. Yes, we are no strangers to the 80s, but 1984, oh, big hair, big synth, oh, big emotional outpourings in 1984. It was when hair metal was getting in touch with its feels. It was I mean, maybe I'm a bit before my time. Maybe I don't know. I'm thinking of Whitesnake. I'm thinking of Whitesnake.
That's more late
is that
80s.
late
Hair
80s?
metals was like 86.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure.
Early 80s was still like funk, disco, like in that scene, music scene. There was still funk and disco, and like you had like Rick James and like I think like Eddie Murphy. Well, it was that comedy scene as well, like that friendship group of like Eddie Murphy, his brother Charlie Murphy, Prince, like Rick James, like.
So there's still a bit of funk, soul, disco. The Funk Soul Brothers.
Yeah.
Right.
And then R&B was coming into it along with it as well.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Synth R&B.
Are we sort of thinking this is around is this around the time of like Run DMC and kind of that underground early 90s or maybe late 70s, early 80s rap?
That was more rap.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't put Prince as a rap artist.
No, Prince isn't a rapper, but this is just what was going on at the time.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that was probably more the streets, where Prince was probably more like
the studio.
the studio
The studio and the
parties.
stadium.
the parties, you know, the elaborate parties where
Yeah.
I think those were just like the hood and the streets.
Yeah,
Like,
Prince was
bit different.
Prince
Yeah.
was they were eating at McDonald's and Prince was sitting down at a fine dining restaurant. Is this the kind of difference
Well, yeah.
in?
Well, Prince loved pancakes, so he was probably eating pancakes.
Are we into the interesting tidbits already?
Well, yeah. Oh, there's lots of it. If
Okay.
anyone knows Prince, there, and you can just look up on YouTube. If you just type like Prince interesting stories, so everyone has an interesting story about Prince and things that he's done. Like he's a
Right.
character. He's such a character
Is
and a
he?
half. Like, oh yeah.
Can we just first talk about this song and the album before we
Hmm.
get into the tidbits? Like, is not is Purple Rain is kind of like it's musical therapy disguised as a rock opera, right? Because like that.
That's right.
Yeah, there's so many themes that of love, loss, anguish, relational stuff that comes in, which we'll get into later. But it's a real rock opera because it was part of the album that was released alongside the movie.
The movie, yeah.
Purple
You had like
Rain.
Purple Rain.
Yeah.
The song Purple Rain. Let's Go Crazy. When Doves Cry. Like,
It's just following the story arc of a love song and family trauma, and I mean, not of a love story. It's following the arc of a love story and family trauma, and I mean, I haven't seen the film. I've been urged to see it lots of times, and I probably should I probably will after hearing all of those interesting tidbits that you've got. But like, this
I
is
don't think it's up there as a like one of the greatest films of all time, but it's
No.
certainly like the soundtrack of it outweighs the film 100%.
because
Yeah.
it's a concept album, right? It is a rock
Yeah.
opera. Or,
Yeah, it is.
I mean, maybe a pop
Well, yeah.
opera, but
It's a concept, and it's also a movie soundtrack. It's like it's a concept movie soundtrack album.
Yeah. Okay.
Because movie soundtracks are just like random songs that they put in that fits along with the movie, where this is actually
It tells the story alongside
it tells the story alongside the
the
movie.
movie, telling the
Like
story.
another great one is like the soundtrack Tommy by The Who, which is a soundtrack rock opera concept album of a story, but then they turned it into, it could be turned into a movie. So it was like this album was an album that could be turned into a movie, and those songs would coincide with alongside the movie. It's not just let's like chuck a random song in here that fits kind of the theme of what's going on in the movie.
Yeah, it tells the story within itself. It can tell the story. It can be a standalone story told.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, go Prince. All right. Yeah, I just sort of wanted to, clear the air on that, get that out there, that this is a concept album, a rock pop opera that tells a story within itself without the film, and it stands alone.
Yeah, and this song actually wasn't almost going to be on the album.
Okay,
because
hang on.
he didn't.
Interesting
Well,
tidbits. Okay, tell me. It wasn't going to be on the album.
No, so he was watching a screen test of the movie, and then this song came to his head that night. Recorded the song, no edits, no nothing. Handed it to the producers and the film editors, and they chucked it in the movie. So then it went on the soundtrack.
Wow.
So it wasn't even thought of prior to the
making
movie
the
or anything
movie.
like. Yeah,
So-
it happened during or at the end of the movie, kind of when he was watching a screen test of it, and he was like, "Oh no, I've got this song. It needs to go in the movie."
That's amazing. Prince inspired himself. How meta.
I know. Oh, Prince is. I feel like Prince is just full of meta. Like he was just one of those artists that would, yeah.
He was transcendent, wasn't he? It was like, I don't know, he had a lot of muses, literal and figurative.
Well, yeah.
Because he was
Well,
a sexy man. He was.
He was. Although you look at him and like, maybe for the 80s.
He was a little man. He was a
Big hair.
fashion icon, very fashion forward, created his own sense of style, not
Oh
afraid
yeah.
to be flamboyant and
Very androgynous.
rather androgynous and rather creative in his sense of style. He was the whole package. He was the real deal. He was like a true artist, not just a
Yeah.
musician, but an artist. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Back
And he,
to the
well,
interesting tidbits.
well, no, it's true. And he can play. Well, unfortunately, Prince is no longer with us, but he could play 27 different instruments. So he's a multi-talented instrumentalist. And this song is done all by Prince.
Wow. So he basically
He wrote the whole song all by
wrote,
himself.
recorded, produced
All the parts, everything.
Right. Okay. Wow. That's
Directed everything.
That
Yeah.
is a psychological textbook translation of avoidant attachment. I'll do it myself. Don't worry. Nobody can help me. Don't worry. I'll do it myself. Because nobody will hurt me if I do it all by myself. So that's textbook avoidant attachment right there.
Or either that, he was just a bloody genius, and he was just like, I can
do it. Or he had a lot of ego, you know. I believe in myself. I've got this.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I can do this. Right. Okay.
Well,
Fascinating.
Prince had that much. Like, I think he was just one of those musicians that he had that much stuff going on in his head. So he has a vault that has over like 2,000 songs, that unreleased like songs. Like there's back catalogs of like albums and songs that he has locked away in a vault that was just never produced to the public because he was just constantly writing and producing and creating songs.
Well, that's amazing. And it's, you know, it's really surprising that his estate hasn't sort of jumped on that. But it would be doing a bit of a disservice to him because if he didn't have the final say and the final, you know, sign off on it, because I expect that if he was such a creative entity, he'd be a bit of a perfectionist and would want oversight on all of his stuff, you know, because really only someone with perfectionistic tendencies is going to entirely by themselves write, produce and record and play all the instruments on a track.
Yeah. When I was younger, I went and saw, I went to a drum clinic, a famous, a really good funk drummer, which unfortunately he passed away, John Blackwell Jr. And he was Prince's drummer during like the 2000s. And he told us like, man, you had to be tighter than like a duck's ass. Like there was no compromise. You had to be in the pocket. He knew what he was talking about. He knew what he wanted. And you just had to make sure you had to play it at that like level. It was insane.
Level. It was like the elite sport of music.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So there was no room for error.
No room for error. No. Mm-hmm. But speaking of sport, he's also a profound basketballer as well.
No way. That short? He wasn't that tall.
He used to play college basketball, and if you've ever watched the Dave Chappelle show, and it's a true story, and they did a skit on it, Charlie Murphy, so Prince challenged Charlie Murphy in a basketball match, and he rocked up in like his Prince and the Revolution outfit, like his purple outfit, like high heels, like his entourage that came with him to play. They were all in like their Prince and the Revolution outfits, like, you know, and Charlie Murphy was just in his basketball jersey, you know, and shorts, like going, man, this guy's a fool, like whatever.
Yeah. What's this short man doing? How do you think he can take me on?
Prince smashed him.
Did he?
In the game. And so back to the pancakes. And then as a bit of a don't underestimate me, he served him pancakes as like as a sore loser gesture. Like, I've won, here's pancakes. Like, here's your sore loser gesture. Yeah.
Ah.
And that's like just one of thousands of stories. Like, I know Jimmy Fallon, like Prince invited him to play ping pong, like randomly at this club, and then he rocked up, Prince wasn't there, and then like he took forever to rock up. He's like, all right, let's do this. Won him in a game of ping pong, like Jimmy Fallon like lost to the ping pong match, and then just Prince left. Like, and that was it. Like, it was just
He was an
like,
enigma, just
yeah, he
traveling
was
through the air like smoke and then
yeah,
disappearing.
massive prankster. Like, he used to just love
Wow.
trolling people. Because I
And
don't think people took him seriously because they were like, oh, he's getting the weird get out. He
yeah, and
sings really high pitched, but his normal voice.
as if a
Yeah,
musician can play ping pong, as if a musician like had the time to develop a basketball skill, as if
yeah,
yeah, right, okay. So he was
yeah.
an enigma,
Oh
a
yeah,
bit of a
yeah,
chameleon.
yeah. There's so many good stories of like famous people and interactions with Prince and just the random stuff he just used to like do with it. I think just to shit stir him or just to be like, I'm the greatest of all time.
Of all things of all time,
Of all things. Yeah.
basketball, ping pong, and pancakes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And anything else?
Well, I didn't know because he's also written hit songs for dozens of artists, which I'm not surprised. But I didn't know that he did Sinead O'Connor's "Nothing Compares to You." That's a Prince song.
Wow. Yeah.
"Manic Monday" by the Bangles. That's a Prince
Is
song.
that a Prince song?
Yeah.
Wow.
"I Feel You," Shaka Khan. "Stand Back" by Stevie Nicks. Yeah, like heaps. Sheena Easton, which was also his percussionist during the 80s, an amazing
No, was
female
that
drummer.
Sheila E. or Sheena Easton?
Oh, Sheila. No, yeah, that's Sheila E. Sorry, I'm getting them mixed up.
Yeah,
Thank
what'd
you.
you do for Sheena
Correction
Easton?
corner.
Correction corner. Just getting you
Correction
straight in
corner.
there.
Oh,
Straight in there.
although you
Did he
should
write
watch
a song
Sheila.
for Sheena Easton? Or did
Yes, he did.
What did he
No, he
write
did.
for Sheila? No.
The song's called Sheena Easton.
Sheena Easton? What did he write for Sheena Easton?
Sugar Walls.
Sugar Walls.
I don't know that song though.
Okay.
It's probably like, yeah. But Sheila E was his drummer.
Yeah.
And if like one of the greatest female drummers of all time, like hands down, Sheila E. Like, there was back in the like mid 2000s, David Letterman did a drum solo week. So we'd have like famous drummers come in and do like a drum solo, and he had Sheena Easton, and she's
No, Sheila E.
Oh, thank you, Sheila. Now you're going to get it's the Billy Joe Armstrong thing all over
I
again.
know, right? I'm just going to get you into correction corner straight away. So we had Sheila E on. Sheila E.
on.
Yeah.
She killed a drum solo in like the biggest high heel shoes, like,
Wow.
and then, like,
Was she using the
it's
double
amazing.
kick?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
like in these
course she
massive high
was.
heels, killing it, like doing this like Latin, because she's like, like Latin. Well, her father was a famous Latin like conga player. So yeah, it's really
So it was
really
in the
good.
genes for her. And, you know,
Yeah.
obviously Prince saw something in her and she... But did she do backup vocals for him or she just do
I think she did
drumming?
as well, because she
Yeah.
can sing too, Sheila.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I think she was on. Oh, this might have to go into correction corner, but I recently watched. See, me and my music documentaries.
Oh yes.
You can count on Mo for that. She loves a
Yep.
good documentary. So I was watching the documentary about the making of We Are the World.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I started watching that.
Yeah, so I watched the whole thing because
Yeah.
I'm not a quitter. Drum chucks.
Oh,
Shots fired. Anyway,
wow.
just kidding.
Okay. It takes a lot for me to sit down and really get into a documentary.
Does
like,
it? Okay.
It takes a bit.
Yeah,
like,
sometimes your brain's not wired for it. That's cool.
Yeah. Yep.
My brain is wired for documentaries, just like what's his face was wired for sound. Cliff Richard was wired for sound. My brain is wired for documentaries, music documentaries, no less. Anyway, the We Are the World recording, which happened at night after the Grammys. I can't remember which year. Was it 1984? Was it? I don't know. You might need to look that one up when they recorded it. But it was the only time where all of the artists were going to be in the one place at the one time, which was after the Grammy Awards. So they all entered the studio, probably a bit half cut. And but
Yes.
that's all right. And so who was it?
1985. It came out in
1985.
1985. So the year after.
So the year after. So yeah. Anyway, Sheila E was part of that recording, and what was the interesting thing about it? Oh yes, the interesting thing about it was that she was part of the recording, but just something else. Just a random psychologist kind of observation. If you watch that documentary, just watch Bob Dylan. He is so autistic.
Oh,
It is.
yeah. He did not want to be there.
He did not want to be there. No, maybe not want to be there, but just very socially awkward. Couldn't kind of
Yeah.
inject himself into the fray. Like everybody was sort of feeling the love in the room, but he couldn't
Well,
socially connect. I don't think.
if it was after the Grammys in 1985, half of them were probably on Coca-Cola.
Maybe,
You know,
maybe,
like
maybe
the
that was getting them
Coca-Cola.
through the night. Really.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't picture Bob Dylan as a Coca-Cola fan.
Well, I don't know what Bob Dylan was doing that night, but anyway, that was just a very interesting tidbit. So if it, well, not a tidbit. I mean, look, the disclaimer is he's not my patient. I could never diagnose someone that has never sat in front of me in a therapy
No.
room. But just observing him, there were some social difficulties and social deficits, and that might suggest that he may be autistic. So I don't know if he's ever come out and said that he is, or if anyone's ever, diagnosed him. But yes, that was my observation. And
My favorite bit from that song, like from that film clip, like when they're
they're recording.
while recording, yeah, like rehearsing, is when like Cyndi Lauper and Huey Lewis are like trying to belt out like these high notes, and you just see in the background MJ going, "This is fucked. Like, this is crap. This is horrible singing." Like he just all over his face is like, "Oh my god, this is so
He's like,
crap.
is this singing at all?
This is
Anyway,
not. These aren't real artists."
yeah,
It's just hilarious.
yeah, yeah. No, it was a great documentary for anyone there. But that's the Prince connection. I don't know why Prince wasn't there. Maybe Prince was touring. Maybe Prince wasn't invited. I don't know. If someone's got any
I
ideas,
feel like he was too cool for that. Prince. I feel
maybe
like Prince
he
was too
said
cool.
no. Maybe he declined. Maybe
Yeah,
his star had already risen. It was not on the rise, and he didn't. He didn't need it. He didn't need to be part of some solving of world hunger. Who
yeah, yeah.
knows?
Well, he was a very private. He was a very private person,
Yeah,
I think,
yeah,
but immensely like charitable at the same time. Like
yeah.
I think a lot of people.
What did he
And that's
do?
probably.
What's the tidbits? What do we know about his charitability?
Well, yeah, like he quietly funded like countless causes of like schools, clean water projects, like music education, and like, but insisted on anonymity. So just didn't want to, and donating under like other aliases, which he was known to. Even like when he was producing, like going into the studio, he would produce under other aliases.
Wow. And he
Yeah.
probably didn't, this is the thing with people like Prince, he's such a philanthropist, just like giving away money, like, to charitable causes. He probably didn't even need the money for producing music for other people, right? But
No,
he's
that's right.
just having such a creative drive that, it transcends money. It transcends like anything concrete. You've just got this drive to just do this thing. Yeah, he was quite a unique individual.
Yeah, and he's and, like I know Purple. We're not doing Purple Rain, but Purple Rain's on that album. If that he played Purple Rain live at one of the Super Bowls, and it's still one of the best Super Bowl performances of all time. Is him doing Purple Rain live? Yeah,
Wow. I'll have to
and
look that one up on YouTube.
yeah, and if you've ever watched the George Harrison tribute concert, he he's just got this persona, like he's just suave. And I think that's what he's suave. Like he comes out like while my guitar gently weeps, he does this amazing guitar solo. He just comes out, just freaking rips this solo like in this awesome outfit. Like don't forget he had amazing like looking guitars that fitted his persona. Like he didn't have like a typical, you know, Stratocaster or anything like that. He had like this the purple symbol, the swirl, his symbol that he created of like a.
He probably had his own personal guitar
Yeah.
maker. What are they called? A luthier?
Luthier, yeah.
He probably had his own personal luthier.
Yeah.
Right. So he's come on stage and he's just smashed out this solo, dropped a smoke bomb and walked off probably.
And walked off. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
amazing.
wow.
Yeah.
You know,
Full of wonder, that
just
guy.
one of a kind, hey?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
I put him up there like in that, you know, like there's one of a kind artists that defined like a history of genre, like, you know, Brian Wilson's of the Beach Boys, like he defined like that you'll never get a Brian Wilson or like a David Bowie or like a Freddie Mercury. You'll never get a Prince in that era of or that genre of music.
Yeah, he was an entity unto himself, right? He just he created a genre. That's how powerful and enigmatic he was.
Yeah.
Is that he created a genre.
Yeah.
Go Prince.
Go Prince. And Prince is his real name.
That's his actual name.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a stage name. Prince is his real name.
What's his last name? Is it Rogers? I think it's Rogers.
I did have it. Give me 1 second.
I think that's what it is.
I think it is right. I think you're right. It is Prince Rogers Nelson.
Oh, Prince Rogers Nelson. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so he was born royalty. Music royalty.
He was born as a prince and will always be a prince.
Yeah, music royalty. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, should we get into the psychology of when doves cry?
Please. It's funny you said off air. You'd have to do something really bad to make a dove cry.
You really would, because doves
don't cry, do they?
Well,
I was going to say, do doves cry?
Well, no, I mean, I don't know that birds cry. I mean, if there's any ornithologists out there who love a bird and they love, but I think that's what bird lovers are called, or bird watchers, ornithology. And how do I know that? From a Robbie Williams song, I think, and I looked it up about 20 years ago about what was he saying? Ornithology. He was talking about bird watching. Oh, okay. It wasn't actual birds. I think he was talking about women. I think he was talking about objectifying women. He was bird watching.
Women watching, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Whistle calling.
Yeah.
So,
Sideline Sally is going to be all over us for all these digressions today. We're really painting a picture of Sideline Sally as someone who comes down the heavy on us, but someone's got to keep us in line.
Yeah, she's amazing. I know we put shit on her, but this podcast wouldn't be. You listeners wouldn't be listening to this podcast if it wasn't for her. So thank you.
She puts it all together. God love her. Thank you, Sideline Sally. Anyway, we're talking about doves crying, and that's the symbolism of this. You know, this song is like doves are traditionally this sort of symbol of like purity, peace, and divine love. Mate, you could be doing some damn dumb shit to make a dove cry.
Especially because birds don't have tear ducts, so they literally cannot cry.
But it's the symbolism of kind of innocence corrupted by pain, you know? It's like love sort of twisted into suffering. And it's, you know, I think he's kind of describing something symbolic here. It's about the collapse of the idealized image of love. You know, we idealize love. Romantic love is kind of what we often aspire to. So, but you know, the crying dove is kind of the moment that you realize that your partner's not your savior, that the idealized version of love does not exist, that your partner's just another human who's got their own issues, their own flaws, their own foibles. And it's just like reality setting in, that symbolism of the dove crying, that the idealization has been distorted by pain, and the illusion has fallen away. Reality just setting into the sound of a Lindrum. That's something. That's right.
And no bass. No bass.
No bass.
No bass here.
Tell the people the tidbit. Tell the people the tidbit about the bass.
Oh, the tidbit of no bass. Well, originally the song did have bass.
No
so there
way.
is, but so he recorded the song with bass, and it's probably one of the very few pop songs or popular songs that have hit the charts as a single with no bass, no low end in it. It's all high end, almost like glass, a bit like glass shattering effects, that feeling that it's all in the
Which
treble.
would be very symbolic. Glass shattering, the illusion that love, the idealized illusion of romantic love is shattering like glass. So no bass, so we can sit all in the high end.
All in the high end. And the acapellas, of course. I like a good acapella.
You do. And the fact that he's used his voice at the start as percussion, hasn't he? At the start of the song. That thing. That's right. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I digressed. So we're talking about the illusion of romantic love shattering, and I mean, I might get into the lyrics a little bit. I think he starts off with the lyric, dig, if you will, a picture. And what he's about to say is like, yeah, you are going to dig it, because what I'm about to do is I am going to drop a relatable, universal truth bomb about, romantic love. He's inviting you in to a fantasy where he immediately blurs sex, love, and pain. And because that's what this is about, the price of love is loss and pain. And oftentimes the price of losing the illusion of romantic love is pain. And so this is classic attachment confusion, right? Where he's like, shit, is this passion or is this punishment? What is this? Is this love or is this annihilation? Is this going to wreck me? Or is it gonna better me? Is it gonna, do
sink or swim? Sink or swim?
Are we gonna sink or swim? Are we gonna merge or destroy each other? He's describing, and we're all digging this picture that he's describing, I think, of love where there's two lovers intertwined, but it's tense, it's claustrophobic, it's a romantic entanglement. It's kind of like, I don't know, like, a hostage situation with big hair. And I'm like, but,
and a very hairy chest. He had a very
hairy chest. Yes. It's, so yeah, I think he's saying you're all going to relate to this because you've all been there. And I think, if Freud got a hold of these lyrics or this song, he might ash his cigar after he takes a drag on it and says, my boy, you are a case study of love and annihilation. Because this is what he's showing us, that the shattering of the romantic illusion of love is enough to make a dove cry. It's some pretty bad shit that our hearts and I think
feel. Freud would say, let's go back to your childhood. Tell me what your parents were like. Are you like your parents? Because that's what this song is like. He's like trying not to be like how he was brought up and how his parents were to him, and how they were in a relationship, and how he's now trying not to be that person.
Exactly. And we'll get to those lyrics in a minute, but that's very interesting. It is sort of, if we think about the inner child, someone's inner child, take me back to your childhood, it's really important that we identify what our inner child witnessed and what it experienced. So, that's why oftentimes in therapy we've got to go backwards to go forwards, because we have to have a think about what your child took away from how to relate from your parents, from watching your parents, from relating with your parents. We develop unconscious mechanisms and schemas that we are often that are outside of our conscious awareness, and we often need to kind of go to therapy to bring the unconscious conscious, to bring the unconscious patterns that we keep repeating conscious, so we can then circuit break them, figure out a way to do something differently, because often those repeating patterns cause us pain, and we end up in therapy, because we're feeling pain, we're feeling lots of emotions, and we're actually not quite sure why. We're not, and oftentimes therapy can be kind of a situation where people come to complain about their partner, and they complain about people in their lives. They complain about the relational dynamics, which is great. You are welcome to vent and complain. But a good therapist will always go back to your childhood in one way or another and hold that in mind, and then often ask you, okay, so what's your role in it? What is this thing that you're describing with your partner? What is this reminiscent of? Why are you triggered by this? Who did this to you, with you, in front of you? What is this pattern? A good therapist will let you whinge, of course, about your partner, because, and your colleagues.
They're there to listen.
They're there to listen. Of course, we're paid to listen.
I was going to say, you can say whatever. I don't care. I'm getting paid at the end of the day.
No, but good therapy will challenge you. Good therapy will challenge you and will ask you, where are you in all of this? This thing that your partner does that really triggers you, where was this at one time in your life? Where, and what are you doing that perpetuates this? Of course we would do that in much gentler, more curious ways, but
I don't know about you, but I'm sure, and listeners out there, I'm sure at one stage your partner's gone, oh God, you sound just like your father. Oh God, you sound just like your mother right now. Like, I'm sure we've all heard that, like, at one point of our lives by a partner, like, especially when you have kids and like you're trying to then raise your kids, you're like, oh man, you just sounded like your dad then. I'm like,
when you do it to yourself, and you're like, oh my God, I opened my mouth and my mother just came out.
Yeah. And then you can have that disgusted look. You're like, oh man,
dang it.
The one thing I promised I would never do, I just did.
Right. Exactly. And that's, that's where Prince gets to. But before we get there about mothers and fathers, I want to go back to another lyric, because what I want to say is that the lyric I'm thinking about is when he says, touch if you will my stomach, feel how it trembles inside. He's sort of saying, this whole love thing is really scary, and I'm being vulnerable. That's vulnerability, baby. And
Butterflies.
He kind of eroticizes it a little bit, touch if you will my stomach, feel how it trembles. He's eroticizing.
I wonder if he asked her if she had Botox in her top lip.
He did. Okay, we are really digressing there.
Sorry, I had to throw it in there. The innuendos were being thrown. I had to throw it back.
Yeah, righto. He wanted to figure out her spit mechanism. Okay, we're finishing it there.
All right.
But what he's saying is, like, this whole love thing, I'm actually experiencing some somatic anxiety that's manifesting itself in my body, right? Like, he's having a sexy panic attack. He basically invented sexy panic attacks. But
is that even a thing? I don't think how does one experience a sexy panic attack?
But what he said, he's saying,
I'm horny, but I'm freaking out at the same time. Is
pretty
that what
much?
It is? Like,
that's what he's saying.
Okay.
He's saying,
I
like,
really want you.
I really want you. I'm really horny for you, both sexually and, emotionally and intimately.
Yeah.
But my nervous system is telling me that love is dangerous. That this is fucking dangerous. This is like, connection and closeness is dangerous because let's go
Segway.
segue. If we go back to the early developmental trauma where he says, maybe I'm just like my father, too bold. Maybe you're just like my mother, she's never satisfied. What he's saying is, I lived through a relational war zone with my parents, and closeness and connection has been presented to me as a really scary place. And while I am horny for you sexually and emotionally and intimately, or as my good friend Matthew says, and if you're listening, Matthew, I don't even think you know about our podcast. But anyway,
Oh,
you always
get on it, Matthew.
get on it, Matthew. He always cracked me up when he used to say intimate. Not intimate, but intimate.
Intimate.
Yeah.
That's almost like saying in a minute. Like, yeah,
No,
that's,
intimate.
it'll either take in a minute or you have to wait in a minute.
I'm talking about intimacy. So, intimacy. Intimacy. What
Yeah.
he's saying is, I've grown up in relational chaos, and my nervous system is telling me that this is dangerous, and my alarm system is going off, and I am trembling, and there's butterflies, and this is absolutely trademark family.
Hashtag triggered.
Trademark, hashtag triggered, trademark family of origin relational trauma moment coming up for me, right? So this is sort of, this is where we are officially in session now. Sit down and tell me what's on your mind, because
That's it.
this is where the work happens. And this is, this is the inner child breakthrough part where someone cries and the therapist has to thwart their cries, because we're humans too, and we've got mirror neurons. And I don't know if you know what mirror neurons are, but they're those parts of our brain that help us learn things. So when we're
Right.
little, our parent shows us how to do something, and then our mirror neurons are responsible for like mirroring their and mimicking their action. So mirror neurons,
Like monkey see, monkey do.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, when you're a therapist and you're in it with someone emotionally, right? Because it really requires the therapist to kind of, in a sense, know and understand what the other person's feeling, and sometimes feeling it with them. So, look, I'm a crier in therapy, especially if I've got a long-term relationship. You're a crier. I cry.
I am a crier.
You're a crier. I'm a crier. In my own therapy and with patients as well. Like, if I'm in a long-term therapeutic relationship with someone, I cry sad tears and happy tears with them. If someone's like done
Me too.
the work, and they're telling me about all the things that they've achieved, I often cry with pride.
Me too.
Yeah. Anyway, the lots of therapists have lots of debates about whether or not you should cry, but anyway,
It just shows you're human. Like, I know you've got a job to do, but it also shows that you're human, and
yeah,
that you're not just there as a punching bag. Essentially, you're actually you're a punching bag with feelings and emotion.
yeah. I'm not a blank screen, and I think
Ah.
the work happens when you offer someone a relationship and an experience that they've never had with a caregiver. That's where the work happens. So, but yeah, anyway, that's what Prince is saying. I crave connection, but I can't tolerate it. my body's telling me it's dangerous, and and my
My
body's
brain says yes, my heart says no.
yeah, or no, maybe my brain says yes, my heart says yes, but my nervous system says no, no,
Right.
because I want to avoid the dynamic. Because, our nervous system, we need it to stay alive. It's the thing that perceives danger. But whether the danger is real or perceived is the thing. because oftentimes people come to therapy with a lot of perceived threats and danger, but they're only
Yeah.
perception, and their perception based upon past experiences vis-a-vis Prince with his, demanding father and what was his mother? Never satisfied.
Never satisfied.
So, so yes. Anyway, where was I? Talking about Prince's inner child screaming out that intimacy is dangerous.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yes and no.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes and no. So, I think overall, though, this is a very bold kind of case study in masculine vulnerability, actually, or kind of maybe gender fluid kind of vulnerability, because Prince was very gender fluid, right? So,
I
but
think so. Yeah.
yeah, but I suppose though, if in the 80s, we really weren't that educated. We didn't know as much back then as we do know now about transgender and the varieties of different genders that people can identify with. So I suppose in the 80s, what we were looking at was sort of, a masculine emotional expression, right? Which was very brave of Prince at the time to be talking about these constructs in music. He was shattering the glass ceiling when it came to male emotional expression and breaking down performative, masculinity, which was all muscles, money back then, Marlboro Men,
Yep.
Miami Vice,
Yep.
that kind of,
Babes, cars, cars,
yeah,
babes.
no feelings. You were just like a man about town going through life, dusting yourself off. But this is kind of a real emotional outpouring that broke down that performative masculinity. I think, I think that people like, The Weeknd and Drake can all thank Prince for breaking through that glass ceiling. He, you know,
100%.
Prince walked, so The Weeknd could text his ex drunk at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
That's so yeah. So I think in sum, When Doves Cry is really, a portrayal of how relational chaos in the early developmental years can show up in the here and now in relationships. And and this is what presents in therapy a lot, right? People come to therapy and they're like, I'm in this new relationship, but something's happening for me. And I don't know what's going on. And I'm feeling like I want to run away, or I'm feeling really overwhelmed, or I'm feeling really detached, or I'm feeling lots of different things about
Yeah.
being in this
Yeah.
new relationship, and I don't quite understand what it is I'm feeling or where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Well, oftentimes,
And it's so true. And it happens so often.
yeah,
You think, oh, you go through a string of bad relationships and all of a sudden the one comes along and you're like, oh, far
yeah,
out. Like,
yeah.
don't screw this up.
And when you're in the string of bad relationships, often the common denominator, can be something that it can be something that you're bringing to it. Like, if you're in a relationship and you feel, in towards the end, you feel really manipulated. Well, what was it about you that allowed yourself to be manipulated in the first place? What was happening for you? What was the drive? What was the desired outcome? This is where therapy will take you into that curious place of what happened relationally for you when you were younger and what's showing up in the here and now that you really need to work through so you can, obtain the thing that you want the most, which is, hello, Matthew, intimacy. It's the thing that you want the most, but you fear the most.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it's hashtag triggering. It brings up old feelings. So, when doves cry, it's not. it's not just a pop song created by an enigmatic chameleon perfectionist musician come basket player come pancake lover. It is it's not just a pop song. It's actually Prince's inner child revealing to all of us that we all have an inner child that has experienced some relational dynamics, and to brace yourself because they're going to be coming up. They are going to be coming up in your here and now relationships.
This song is autobiographical because he did have a pretty tough upbringing. So he's probably really drawing on his own once again inner childhood experiences in this song.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, there you go. So thank you, Prince, for your vulnerability, your breaking through performative masculinity, for you showing us that male emotional expression is
real.
It's real. It's real. And
you're allowed to feel how you feel.
Yeah, you're allowed to have your feels. So Prince Rogers Nelson, you gave us a good one. Thank you. Yeah.
And listen to it's one of those albums you got to listen before you die.
Yeah, 100%. I haven't listened to it. I've only listened to the singles, really, I suppose. So I'm feeling a little bit inspired to watch the film. So
yeah.
I might do that when we sign off from this episode this evening. Or maybe I might get into a bit more Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
See who else has had Botox done
their upper lip.
Bottom lip next time.
Yeah.
Next time.
Right.
Bottom lip injections.
Exactly. Well, on that note, Drum Chucks, unless there's any other interesting tidbits or psychological facts and figures, I think that's us done for another episode.
Listeners, just look up Prince stories and you'll just be blown away by all these amazing stories that people have of him. Just go do it. Fantastic.
I'm inspired. Well, until next time, Drum Chucks, you take care.
Until we meet again.
All right, mate. I'll see you later, AJ.
Peace, peace, peace.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Songs on the Couch. We hope you enjoyed putting today's song under the microscope with us.
And hey, the conversation doesn't have to end here. Join us over on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search Songs on the Couch, where we're sharing behind-the-scene clips, more fun music insights, and of course, chatting with you all.
And if you're an artist, musician, psychologist, counsellor, psychotherapist, or know someone who'd love to sit on the couch with us, have your management reach out. We'd love to hear from you at hello@songsonthecouch.com.
Follow us, subscribe, and let's keep rocking out together. Catch you next time on Songs on the Couch.